Welcome to another podcast, Jester Radio. Got another guest. She's been on before, but we had to get her on again. Andene Thompson, how to go with the sweet tooth. How are you?
Hi Jess, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for coming on again, and thank you for coming to educate some people, help some people, inspire some people, and maybe just make people become a better version of themselves.
Yes, that's what it's all about.
It
And
is.
thank you so much for having me again.
Of course. So I don't know if you guys know this, but I'll be moving to Joburg. So sad and happy times, but new adventures call for change. So change is happening, and this is literally my last week in Pretoria. So I will be out of here next week Tuesday. So I have to get Andene on before then. So yeah, thank you for coming out. Let's just
Exciting
yeah.
times.
No, it is exciting. So let's get into
Very,
it.
very cool.
You've gone both routes. You've done cardio. You've done weights. You've focused on different aspects of training. Obviously, there's lots of girls that might be scared of going into the weight section. It's intimidating. There's lots of guys. There's lots of creeps. Guys can be very creepy and intimidating.
Guys can be so creepy.
Yeah.
I've come close to like wanting to punch a couple of guys in the gym.
To be honest, I don't even blame you. I sometimes I just stand there and I watch these guys. Especially, I've got a girlfriend. I'm conscious of how guys are, and I look at these guys. I'm like, how can you be doing this? This girl's someone's daughter. This girl's someone who needs to be respected. Then you come and it's mainly I feel it's a lot of the old guys.
Yeah. I think the younger guys are a bit more respectful. The
Yeah.
older guys, I don't know. I actually had such a bad incident yesterday at the gym with an older guy.
Tell us.
So guys, you know me. It's like crop tops, shorts, like
Crop top right now. If you guys aren't watching the
Even-
video,
yes, my beautiful mint green Puma crop. It's beautiful.
it's new, isn't it? I saw
It
on
is
Instagram.
brand new. It's so pretty. I didn't even wear it to train in. I was like, this will be my active.
No, when you
wear.
get new nice clothes, you have to just wear it once, wear it in, and then you can wear it to the
Then
gym
you
once it's
can wear
older.
it to the gym, exactly. But you know me, that's my vibe, and I'm confident in that. And also, I must be honest, like I get so hot when I train. So also for me to wear longs, like genuinely, I die.
No, I understand that.
And yesterday I actually wore longs. I don't know why, I just did. And this old guy, he often like chats to me, and he's been like fine. And recently I've noticed him start to say, "Oh, are you just finishing training or are you just starting?" And then if I'm finished, he goes, "Oh, who am I gonna look at now?" So I go, haha, and then I kind of like walk off.
Yeah.
And yesterday I could see he was like, he didn't even look at my face. He was like staring at my legs because I think he was so shocked that I'm wearing like longs or
He
something.
was trying to undress you because he's used to you wearing.
I promise you, it was like crazy. And then I was like, I just picked this vibe and I had like my AirPods in. And then I walked past him again and I thought, oh, I'll just be polite and wave. And then the next thing I could like vaguely hear him and he's like, "Where are your shorts today?" And I just looked at him and I was like, just walk past him.
You're
Just walk past him.
disappointed in an old man. He was
I
looking
promise
forward
you.
to those shorts. It's actually
Oh.
unfair because that's also what we want to talk about today, guys. Is cardio versus weights and the different types of training and not being afraid of the weight section and
Exactly.
the creeps in the gym will make people afraid of.
I can understand. I mean, I actually have such a bitch face on at the gym. Like, I think a lot of people must think that I am
But sometimes you
a
need that.
bitch. But, you know, it's for two reasons. I'm there to train. It's my time during the day, and I don't like stopping my training.
Yeah.
I like to be there and in the flow. And then two, it's also like you don't want to invite that conversation because, you know, I understand for girls it can be very intimidating. So
Yeah.
I just kind of switch off. So you have to do that.
But then also you don't want to get into a 10-15 minute conversation while you're busy training.
Exactly.
Because also then you get out of your rhythm, you get out of your routine, and
Completely.
you also don't want to entertain the fact that this guy thinks just because you had a conversation with him, you want him.
Exactly. I don't know. It's very funny. But you know what? Like, for the most part, like, I don't let that affect me. I'm in that gym, and if people are looking or men are staring, I'm just like, that's their problem, not
So
mine.
it's kind of a compliment. It's an unwanted compliment, but there's only one positive way to take it is that someone thinks you look good, even though the intentions may not be pure.
Yeah.
So starting out, what type of training did you start? More cardio, more weights? Let's just say your first training experience in the gym. What was
Okay.
that?
So I was a competitive dancer growing up. So that's obviously, you know, it's a very it's a very full body movement, a lot of explosive movement, obviously involves a lot of flexibility and strength. So that's kind of how my body is adapted to training. And when I stopped dancing and needed to go into the gym, I mean, it's a huge difference from going to a studio dancing and in a gym. So I didn't really know too much about like weights or this or that, but I did go to a personal trainer at first to get me into gym, even though I had a pretty good understanding of my body and activating your muscles and that. It's still a different kind of fitness. And I just said, I'm a dancer, so I just want to do things that are dynamic. I wasn't opposed to doing weights, but I also was more like, I don't really want to go in the weight section, like where you go more on the stretching side and where there's the dumbbells and stuff. That just felt like a bit more of a safer environment for me. So I did that, and I did that for a very long time, that kind of training, and stuck to those areas. And then when I obviously wanted to compete in that for the first time, that's where I definitely got more acquainted with going into the weight section of the gym.
And would you say maybe, how did you become more inclined to be more willing to go into the weight section? Did you go with a friend? Maybe was there a guy who was like, it's not so scary and not all these guys are going to attack you, come on, just try it out?
Yeah, it was definitely with my ex-husband, which did help a lot. Because so I think have maybe if you can have a partner that a friend or someone with you, or even a trainer, does help you to, or just even having a program, an online program. That's what I often say to my girls who are intimidated is I think that's also why it's even more intimidating, because you feel like you don't know what to do in the weight section. And then you feel like everyone's looking at you and but also having a plan or having someone with you, like a partner or a trainer, I think will definitely be a nice kind of foot in the door there.
And obviously, depending on your goals, it depends on what type of training you're going to do. More cardio, you're going to be doing more weights. So when you started out, obviously maybe your goals were more inclined of staying slightly slimmer, more active. So maybe the fast twitch muscle fibers, you want to train them harder and train them more, because obviously you want to be feeling as agile as you were when you were dancing. And obviously, when you train weights and the more muscle you get, you're not going to feel as agile. You might be a little bit less agile, but it's impossible to be as agile. I mean, if you look at sprinters, if you look at those people, they don't look like bodybuilders. They don't look like anyone who obviously lives in the gym. Like you said, Bolt, those kind of people, they've got a lot of muscle, but their goals are more cardio inclined. So
no, it's more well, I mean, you are performing to train for stage, but it's like performance versus like building muscle. I mean, they're training for performance, but in that they're building muscle, obviously. With us, it's like a little bit different.
It's almost like just trying to, there's memes where it's like vanity muscles, or that's what, when you look at a bodybuilder, what do you think, oh, that guy can fight? When technically he can barely use those muscles. The only thing he can do with that is lift weights. Which is, I mean, that's just everyone.
They can't run like Usain Bolt.
No, exactly.
Put it that way. So.
I mean, since I've been training, I've definitely lost a lot of speed. I used to do a lot of athletics, and obviously my training would be to suit athletics and to be increasing speed. And the more muscle you build, the slower you're going to become. Unfortunately, so.
Well, you're heavier as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And not in a bad way, ladies. Like muscle is heavier than fat. It's like not heavier in that.
If you build a little bit of muscle, it's going to weigh then quite a bit of fat.
Exactly.
So it's not. That's also what we want to talk about, is don't be afraid to build some muscle. Don't be afraid to go into the weight section and lift some weights.
Exactly.
I don't know if these people can hear that, but can you hear it?
I can hear it.
What if you guys can hear it? Sorry for that.
And clear.
So for your girls, let's say they want to build muscle. They might not have any clue on what type of training to do. If they want to, let's say, build a toned physique, and they want to increase muscle, even obviously not to the extent of what like a bodybuilder will, what type of training would you encourage them to do?
I think it's actually very common with what ladies who come to me with the kind of goals that they have. They're all wanting to tone, and I say tone in like inverted commas, because as you know, I mean, there's not like toning's not really a thing. Like it's building muscle at the end of the day. But toning, I think, I don't know if it's like a word that's maybe been created by media to make it sound like, I don't know what, but what you're doing at the end of the day is building muscle so that your body can look strong and sculpted and, tightened and all
Yeah.
those things that we want. So, for the most part, like, women want to lose weight. They want to be toned, put on muscle. But the thing is, we're so used to thinking, oh, it's going to be like cardio, cardio, cardio. And I think a lot of women are still wanting those like skinny little legs and things like that. But, in order to tone, you've got to develop some kind of muscle. And I think a lot of women are scared of that. They're scared, oh, I don't want to pick up weights, or, oh, I don't want to build in this area of my body, like, I don't want to build my quads, so I mustn't train quads. And I'm always like, you can't not train a body part, because that's also, your entire body is connected. So if you just like, and I mean, most of any leg exercise that you do is going to involve your glutes, your hamstrings, and your quads to some degree. There's just no ways that you can avoid it. So, for what they want, losing weight and putting on muscle, like, I always do combinations of, and it's not hours and hours of cardio because people don't have the time and that's not realistic. So I always love to do a combination of resistance and like plyo and hit in a shorter period of time, and I generally find that works much better. That's how I train when it's more of my lifestyle kind of approach, or just not your everyday kind of body. I don't know how you would really describe it, but more like that's how I would train when I'm not prepping for a show, and that's how I found I get the best results. It's the most sustainable and realistic for lifestyle. It works for most of the women that I work with as well. And then obviously when you're training for stage where you've got to put on a significant more like amount of muscle, you've got to change things up a little bit.
And also, I think girls, when I was in grade 10, I had a girlfriend who didn't want to have a sip of my protein shake because she thought the moment that she went and took a sip of it, she was going to put on this muscle.
Oh my word.
And I think...
I've had that before.
Yeah, and I think
it's... literally called me and said, I've had a protein shake today, like, I'm bigger. I was like, it's impossible, girl. Like, no.
I wish it was the case, because then girls, if you look at a guy who's been training and they're still probably skinny, that males naturally have more testosterone than girls. Males naturally are more inclined to build more muscle than females. There's tons of guys that train so hard and they can't get the muscle that they need to because mainly their training is probably not correct and their diet might not be correct. Exactly.
It's training and nutrition and how you bend it towards that goal, really.
And you can lift weights till the cows come home, but if you have low testosterone, you are not going to build as much muscle as someone with high testosterone. So you don't need to be scared that you think you're going to go curl one weight and then your biceps are going to be massive and you're not going to fit a dress or you're not going to be able to do those kind of things, because if it was the case, I promise you everyone would look muscular and big. So...
Well, I had a girl who did my challenge that just passed now, and in that first check-in that she did with me, she was doing some, I forget the name, but she was doing some other online training program with some woman who promotes this method of, it's like high cardio, minimal like training on legs and stuff to build those like skinny type legs. I don't know.
Ethiopian runner legs.
I don't know. I read up on it once and I was like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. And there's probably like thousands of women who are buying into this. And obviously, like I said, all my programs generally will include hits, weights, and not like hectic weights, like normal weights, And, she was complaining about, she's doing this method. She's so scared to do this method that I'm suggesting. And also she was struggling, like she was so bloated in the first few weeks and this. And I just said, like, listen, you're with me for this period of time. Just do yourself a favor. Try what I'm...
Just trust you.
And if you don't like it, then it's over. You can go back to doing what you're doing, but just try, because you'll never know. And it was just, like, incredible after the 4 weeks. Like, she started to lose weight. She like started to embrace the weight section, going to gym, and she said it just completely changed her whole mindset going into it to what she thought her goals were in training and this, cardio versus weights. It completely changed it for her by the time she finished it. So I think, that says a lot as well.
No, it definitely does, and it's definitely, there's lots of people that they look at these girls on social media and they say, wow, this girl's got an amazing physique, she's got an amazing body. But I promise you, 10 times out of 10, those girls are doing weights those girls are doing some sort of weightlifting.
Mhm.
There's cardio involved. There's cardio involved to get the detailing, to get lean,
Mhm.
to be able to get your body fat lower
Mhm.
with the correct dieting. But there's weights and there's weightlifting, and I mean you personally, you definitely 9 times out of 10 are doing weights on a particular day.
Yeah.
But you're not
Every day.
exactly. But you're not coming here walking through sideways through a door looking like a man.
Exactly.
So that's just it's difficult because also everyone needs stuff. So everyone has something that works better for them. There's people that like this, they don't like that. It's also up to you guys to just try and do something that suits you, because you need to learn for yourself. Everybody's body is different and responds to things differently. Like how you train might be completely different to another girl, and then the results could be completely different, but that girl might think that she's not doing it correctly when her body type is different. So she needs to try something, see if it works, and then try something else.
Exactly, and that's the biggest thing that I also see with women that I work with is like I just explained with this girl, like please just try what I'm telling you and try it. Don't half-ass it, don't do a little bit of this mixed with that, you know, because you're not going to see how something actually works for your body. So try it, like that's how you know what works for you, because you've tried it over the years. You've done trial and error, you know. That's how I know what works for me. Years and years of trying this way, that way, and you know, I know what's what in the zoo, so to speak. And it's the same thing. So if you're gonna sign up with a trainer or do an online program or anything, like give it a chance first. At least 4 to 6 weeks, I would say, so you can see, you know, how did it make you feel? Did it help you achieve the look or feel, or getting you in the right direction of where you wanted to go? Does it suit your lifestyle? All those sorts of things, and then you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together and find what works for you.
And then also, I mean, the girls, the reason guys can eat more is because they have more muscle. So if you build more muscle, then you can eat more. I mean, it's a win-win. Everybody loves to eat more. I mean,
I don't know about that.
Okay, not everyone.
My food went up this week, and I was so excited. I was like, all the carbs, and literally.
Yeah, that's the thing. When it's clean carbs, then it's just difficult to get in all that food.
But like, this week I've been trying to eat it, and I was like, this is hard. I can't get this food in. Oh, but anyway,
it's difficult because also girls are used to eating a certain amount, and girls that want to be, like some ladies that would like to be skinnier, almost starve themselves.
They do.
When to be healthy and to see, if you see results in the gym, you have to eat actually a lot of food.
Gotta eat, and that's the other thing. I work with so many women who are eating 1,000, 1,200 calories. I put them onto the Healthy Girl Signature Eating Plan, which is probably about, let's just say an average of like maybe 1,800 calories. So it isn't a calorie deficit, but it's definitely pushing the max of what a calorie deficit is. And I always say to the ladies, you know, the girls who are eating the 1,000, the 1,200, their energy is low. They are not losing weight. They just not feeling great. And the same thing I say, please just try it. Try work yourself up. And again, when the challenges are over, they've lost weight, their energy is so much better. So, you know, I always say you've got to be in a calorie, well, if you want to lose weight, obviously you do have to be in a calorie deficit, but it's got to be a healthy one, especially if you're training hard, because your body needs energy for all your daily, all the functions that your bodies are doing for you on a daily basis just to keep you alive. You need the energy to sustain you, to train, and you need the energy to help your muscles recover so that you do lose weight and you build muscle and you know, achieve the physique that you want to. So you've got to eat to fuel all of that. And it's just, I mean, it's amazing when you see someone embrace the idea and then they message you, Andene, I've lost the weight finally, and you know, I love how this is looking, and I've got energy. Like, I'm like, yes, because that's what it's all about. So.
And it's nice getting those messages because it's like satisfaction knowing that you've helped someone go from maybe something that's slightly unhealthy to a new healthier way, and feeling better while being healthy, and feeling better being able to almost eat more food. I mean, it sounds counterintuitive, but it's the truth. You can eat more and still see results.
Exactly.
And we're gonna finish off this one with one more question for these ladies that maybe are scared of the weight section, for these girls that are maybe scared to go into the weight section, maybe whatever the reason may be, men, it may be the creepy guys, it may be the fact that it's just not nice to have to go and immersify yourself with all these men, because 9 times out of 10 it is going to be a guy in the weight section. What advice would you give them just to be able to go for it?
I would definitely say, so first of all, it depends on what your goal is, because you don't necessarily have to be in the weight section of the gym, depending on how your program is designed or whatever, but you know, it depends on your goal. Then definitely if you have a plan, it helps so much to give you confidence, or have someone with you, a personal trainer in the gym, take a friend with you, a boyfriend, a husband, whatever. That also really helps a lot to kind of help build that confidence. You also do, like, you know what, you have to learn to just switch off and also not care. You know, like I was saying earlier in the call, like on the podcast, I don't know where the word call came from, but you know, I just go there, and if people are staring or whatever, like I've learned to just mostly switch it off now, because I'm there to train, and if people want to stare at you, that's their problem, not yours. And what was the other tip? I'm trying to think now. Don't worry what people think. Have someone with you, a plan, and decide what your goal is. Because you don't necessarily need to be there. Or baby steps. You know, I have some women who start at home, then they get confident, then they say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym. And then they might just be in the studio or like in the little side areas, and then eventually they go, I'm in the weight section now. So, you know, like, you also don't have to just go from 0 to 100 overnight. You can just